Let's bring in Greg Simons. He's a Russian political analyst. Welcome to you, Greg. When we hear about Ukraine admitting Russian gains on the battlefield, does that make Russia increasingly more unlikely to want to settle and have a ceasefire if it believes it has the upper hand?
Well, with Russia going forward on the battlefield and winning on the battlefield, it means that their key demands for ending the conflict are going to be more entrenched, as the battlefield is absolutely against Ukraine and its patrons, because this is not about territory. I mean, this is about what the Russians perceive as indivisible security. So all of these questions, and to resolve the actual conflict rather than to freeze it. So there are a number of things, but certainly a stronger battlefield position makes a stronger political and bargaining position.
We've heard Russian officials recently saying several times about the concept of having the UN Security Council member nations acting as the guarantors for Ukrainian security. What do you think about that as a concept?
Well, it's an interesting concept, and it shows the lack of trust in the collective West, and namely Europe and the United States, as being any kind of honest broker. They seem to be trying to seek a more impartial broker that can monitor both sides equally, rather than have this powerful broker that would treat the sides differently. So from a Russian perspective, I mean, this comes down to ensuring a more objective keeping of the peace.
I mean, you mentioned a moment ago that the strengthening of position on the battlefield will only strengthen the insistence from Russia about its demands. If we flip that round, EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has said that Ukraine will be supported by the EU to get what she's called like a fair peace. So to get a fair peace, would that require Ukraine to start winning on the battlefield to leverage its own demands?
That's out of the question at this stage. I mean, we're not only talking about just weapon systems by now, we're talking about manpower, which is absolutely decimated. So, I mean, and Europe is not in a position to support Ukraine anymore. I mean, if we look what's happening in Germany, the so-called economic powerhouse, they're starting to talk about destroying the social welfare system so that they can continue to support Ukraine. This is not sustainable, and not for Ukraine, and definitely not for German citizens. So there are going to be hard decisions made, and as Russia is winning on the battlefield, I mean, those political decisions are going to be increasingly lopsided for Russia and against Ukraine.
Greg, good to have you on our news hour. Greg Simons is my guest, Russian political analyst. Thank you.
Thank you.